Hi everyone, good morning. Alyssa here. For those of you guys who don't know me, I'm Alyssa Adams and I am a psychologist and a business coach for therapists. And I help therapists and coaches grow their practice so they can really focus on working with clients that they love. And today I'm going to do a super quick video where I want to talk about two unique ways to get more clients. So if you guys want more information on this topic, you can grab my free download, 10 creative ways to get more clients, where I'm really kind of diving into some unique, like out of the box ways to get more clients, right? We all kind of know the usual typical ways, which can work, but if you really want to amplify what you're doing and accelerate your growth so that you're building your practice more quickly, definitely check out my suggestions in the free download. There's lots of cool tips in there and lots of things that are pretty easy to do to step into the space of getting more clients if you're in that place, if you want to grow and build. So today I'm just going to dive in to talk about two unique ways to get more clients. So one is a strategy that's been really pretty useful for people. And, I live in a metropolitan area and there's a lot of transition. There's a lot of people moving in and out of the area. So this is a really important tip if you live in a large metropolitan area, right? Where there's lots of transition, there's kind of turnover in who lives here. So this is a really great strategy if that's your area. So this is connecting with some new to the area groups, right? So there are meetup groups for people who are new to the area, who may be wanting a coach or wanting a therapist. Maybe they just moved and they're transitioning services or care, or it's just a stressful time because moving is stressful and maybe someone wants some extra support and they're not sure where to turn. So getting connected with some of those new to the area groups, meetup groups, people who've just transitioned into the area can be really, really helpful to just get plugged into that community and have people have an easy place to turn so that they don't have to do a lot of work around trying to find someone. You're there, you're talking about what you do, you're talking about why this could be a really critical time to get some extra support and help, and you're connecting with those groups so that you're the easy choice. You're right there connecting with people. So another way that's related to that is to advertise on those large email groups that sometimes big apartment complexes have. So often when people are moving in and into the area, right, they're living or moving into large apartment complexes, and sometimes they have email groups. Sometimes even the smaller ones have email groups as well, where people are talking about services in the area, places to go in the local community. So getting plugged into some of those different large apartment complexes and advertising your services on their email group can be really helpful. Even if you just write a quick article on like how to manage stress when you're moving, or a few ways to meet new people when you're moving into an area and you're new to the area. Something where you're giving some value to folks who are new to the area and then offering additional support. Here's how you get in touch with me. Here's information on my practice. If they want that next step, if they want to take that next step to get more support. So that's a really, really great way to access lots of people at once who might be looking exactly for what you offer. Another one in that same vein of people who are new to the area, excuse me, I'm still like, my voice is still messed up, so I apologize. But so another way is to connect with primary care providers that we all know that we all kind of plug into as a referral source, but I think like targeting folks who work with new people to the area can be really helpful because you're part of that package of what they're searching for. I've also connected people with dentists, right? Like think about the things you need when you move, right? You transition to a new primary care doctor, often you get a new dentist, except for me who like travels 4.5 hours back home to see my dentist. But many people switch to a new dentist in their area, right? So people who are getting connected to new services after they move in can be a really great group to partner with, right? Like, hey, you have a new client that's coming in to see you. It's their first appointment. Talk to them about some of the services that are offered in the area. They can offer services to other providers that they might want to be plugged in with, and to build that network so that you're part of the package of what they might suggest for people who are new in transitioning to the area. So that's one way that I think can be really, really helpful and is kind of unique. Not a lot of folks are really doing that. Okay, and another area, this one might sound like something you've heard before, but I want you to really think about it in a different and unique way. So this is really building a referral network from other therapists and coaches. So I know we all talk about building a network from other providers, which is great, right? But I really want you to get a solid referral base of other therapists that can refer to you either when they're full or if it's something that they don't treat that you do. This is why having a niche is so important, right? Because if you say, hey, I do everything, and then you're trying to build a referral network with someone else who's saying, hey, I do everything too, right? Now you're sort of conflicted, right? Because you're all kind of doing the same thing and kind of vying for the same group. But if you have a really, really clear niche, like I help people with these specific things, and that's primarily what I do. So if you have clients that cross your path who struggle with these exact things that I help with, please send them to me. And maybe that person works with other people, right? People with other concerns and other issues. Maybe that's their preference. So that if we're all kind of niched into an area, it becomes so much more easy to pass referrals. Like, oh, okay, you want someone who does this? Great, I know someone who does that. Oh, you do this specific thing? Great, I can send someone your way. So that even within the bounds of what you do, it's even more specific, right? Like, maybe you really help people with public speaking anxiety, or new leaders who now need to give a lot of presentations and are having anxiety or experiencing more nervousness in that setting, right? That's more specific than just saying, hey, I help people with anxiety, right? So even if you're talking with another practice that works with people with anxiety, if you're super specific in that way, they'll know immediately if they start to get referrals that that's not their specialty or something that they don't want to help support because they're sort of in another space, they can be sent to you, right? So really thinking about niching down even farther than you think can be really, really helpful so that you're super specific. And back to my niching video from a while ago, I could talk about this for like hours. I won't. But thinking about like, how can you be tagged, right? So what is the thing that you do that's unique and special and specific, right? So that when people hear what you do, they're immediately like, oh, I know someone who needs that, or I know now when someone crosses my path that I can send them to you. So it's really creating that memory cue for people so that they immediately think of you. Because think about how much more specific it is to hear like, oh, I help people with public speaking anxiety, or leaders who want to get more confident now that they have to deliver a lot more presentations. That is such a much easier memory cue than just saying, hey, I work with folks with anxiety, right? Which is also fine, but not as specific. It's not as targeted. So that can be a really helpful thing as you're out meeting other therapists who share the same space with you, so that you can each kind of have a good, clear sense of when to refer to each other. So the other thing that I want to comment on that, sometimes the paths of coaches and therapists don't always cross, but I would really encourage both groups, coaches and therapists, to connect with each other. I've talked with lots of coaches since I sort of am in both spaces. I've talked with lots and lots of coaches, career coaches, speaking coaches, health coaches, who want therapists that they can refer to when people come to them with concerns that are outside the scope of coaching, so that they can refer to therapists. Or if somebody's working on something very, very specific in their coach work together, that they can also be in therapy and getting the support they need for things that are more therapeutic in nature that really require work with a therapist. You can be working with the same people at the same time, right? So I really would like to have more connection in that space where you're building a nice referral pipeline for each other. So those are kind of the two ways that I really wanted to talk about today. But if you want more creative ways to get more clients, just download my free guide. It's 10 creative ways to get more clients, and it's really some out-of-the-box approaches that you may have not tried before. So definitely download it. Let me know if it's helpful for you. You know, reach out, have my contact information on there. Was there other strategies that were super helpful for you that you think would be great to add to the list? Awesome. But just let me know how that goes, and I hope that these were helpful. I'll see you guys soon.